GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all shapes and sizes, today is the day. Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast in your ear. That's in the orgasm you feel. Of course, you know who I am once again, back with episode number 9, Mr. Gabriel Soul, along with the producer, Pat G. The G stands for gangster. Pat, tell him what it is.
It is week 9, as you said, and tons of wrestling news going on. The WWE changing the landscape with the WWE Draft. Daniel Bryan being named the SmackDown General Manager. Mick Foley, the Raw GM. And, of course, we have lots of local talk going on as we talk IWF Summer Bash.
And, of course, we're talking IWF Summer Bash. We also have a special interview for you from one of the competitors. Actually, no, he said he wasn't competing, but one of the roster guys. But we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Of course.
We'll touch on it now.
We can touch on it a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll touch on it a little later. Where do you want to go? You want to end the show with IWF and start WWE?
Yeah, because I'm gonna give JC Money a little shine. He released his Talking Wrestling, and it was all IWF. He had Eric Namanon and Mark House on it. So that came out today. Ours is going to come out a little later tonight, maybe early morning. So I'm going to let JC have the day for IWF, but we're going to talk WWE Draft.
Cool beans. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to today is a special day because, we're not actually, and we're not even going to discuss that. But anyway, so with the draft, SmackDown, Raw got 3 picks. SmackDown got, for every 2 picks, Raw got an extra pick.
Yep.
So, Pat G, let's talk Raw.
Yeah. Well, Monday Night Raw coming on, and a lot of people were talking who's going to be the number 1 pick. Was it going to be Seth Rollins? Was it going to be Dean Ambrose? Was it going to be someone else? And comes to see the number 1 overall pick going to Monday Night Raw, picked by Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon, was none other than Seth Rollins.
Of course. You have to pick the absolute athlete, at this moment in time. Like, if you don't pick Seth Rollins, you're a dummy.
Well, nothing against Seth Rollins, but what's stopping you from picking a Dean Ambrose, who currently was the WWE champion?
True. However, he didn't win the championship on a full-scale match. Don't get me wrong. He did win championship, and he is the champion at this moment in time. But he beat an already beaten Seth Rollins.
That's true. Seth Rollins having a hard-fought match to win that title against Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose doing what he said he's going to cash his shot, and he cashed it in.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Seth Rollins being the number 1 pick. Now, number 2 went to Shane McMahon and his general manager, Daniel Bryan. And the man that we just were speaking about, Dean Ambrose, gets picked to SmackDown.
Dean Ambrose to SmackDown. That's amazing. I think that's a great pick as well. And the reason why I think it's a great pick is because Dean Ambrose is an awesome competitor, an awesome presence also. So I think that's going to bring a lot of shine to SmackDown, and I think that's what SmackDown is missing right now. They're missing that oomph, that star-studded character that's going to bring SmackDown back to the forefront. Before they had The Rock. The Rock was the guy. You watch SmackDown?
Yeah.
The Rock.
That SmackDown was his show.
and I think Dean Ambrose can do that.
Well, Dean Ambrose can do that, and a lot of people were going with the naming of Daniel Bryan being general manager. A lot of people were hoping that SmackDown was going to become the wrestling show. And Dean Ambrose is a good way to start that for that to happen.
Yep.
Now moving on back to Raw, they decided to take the women's champion Charlotte with the number 2 pick.
That's a good pick.
No doubt, Charlotte being the women's champion, actually becoming the very last Divas champion before the women's championship was reintroduced by Stephanie McMahon. Now, SmackDown's answer to that was AJ Styles. So,
which I told you before, last show.
Yes,
AJ is going to be a pillar on Raw.
Oh. Well, he's gonna be one of the guys that Daniel Bryan's gonna rely on SmackDown. Now,
AJ?
Oh yes, AJ.
AJ's going to SmackDown or Raw?
AJ's going to SmackDown.
Oh wow, okay, maybe I was wrong, so I apologize. I just gave you wrong information.
Yeah, AJ was SmackDown's number 2 pick. Now, with the rules being announced that for every 2 SmackDown picks, Raw was going to get 3. There was also the rule of there could be up to 6 NXT picks.
Right.
Which led to everybody wondering who was going to be picked from NXT. Well, Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley pretty much got to the big gun early, taking Finn Balor number 3.
Number 3. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Finn Balor going number 3 going with Raw's 3rd pick being that choice.
Okay, so he's the 5th overall pick.
Yes, 5th overall pick, but Raw's 3rd pick.
Right. Now, the funny thing that I find is that they picked Roman Reigns number 6 in the 2nd round.
Oh yes, they did, and then followed by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So right there, so the 2 guys that are currently facing outside issues still got drafted.
Yeah.
With
like I said, I told you they still had to draft Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's only suspended for 30 days.
And his suspension was actually up, I believe, yesterday.
Oh wow.
His suspension ended yesterday.
See? And just in time for the pay-per-view.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, an interesting development on SmackDown is SmackDown ended up picking John Cena, Randy Orton, and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And
Orton, yeah.
Right there, and right there goes John Cena. I said John Cena was going to be on SmackDown, and you agreed with it because he's going to be that value guy.
Yep. He's already spent enough time on Raw, and they don't need him there anymore.
No. Not at all.
So
I'm curious at this point when they selected Bray Wyatt, I was curious as where this was going to leave the other members of the Wyatt family.
Right.
So, and which, interesting enough, they had there was only, I believe there were only like 30 there was only like 30 picks or 20 picks or something like that on televised.
Right. There were 30 on live TV.
Yeah.
And the rest were on the network.
And then there was another 30 on the network. Well, during the network picks, Raw decided to pick Braun Strowman.
Wow.
Member of the Wyatt family. So, right there, you see what the draft could do. It breaks up the Wyatt family.
Yeah. It does.
Now, in light of Raw's pick, and this I got a kind of a bone to pick with the way this draft happened.
Okay.
Is, of course, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have been at each other's necks for the last 6 months.
Right.
Okay? So they end up fighting on Raw, and they come out to the ring and essentially get chokeslammed by Kane. Now, it's all great. Kane is one of the guys. He's been the company guy, doing whatever's asked of him and told. But they say that we're in a new era. New guys need to be pushed. What was the point of having two guys that were drafted to Raw, because Sami Zayn was drafted to Raw essentially right after this, getting chokeslammed by a guy that barely does anything anymore?
I mean, you can say the same thing about Undertaker, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why is Taker, still doing this whole WrestleMania thing, and, you don't barely do anything anymore? I mean, I don't know. It's still, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I can answer that question.
Yeah.
But he did chokeslam both of them.
Yes.
Doesn't take any credibility out of the new guys. It just still puts credibility on the Demon Kane.
Ah, okay.
So, because Kane is going to SmackDown, which is later on,
yes,
he did get drafted to SmackDown in round 7.
Yes.
But it still doesn't take anything away from those two guys.
No, not at all.
It just builds Kane up to be that monster, so he can get the other guys who are on SmackDown over.
Well, in an interesting development, we saw AJ Styles being drafted to SmackDown. The club of Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows was drafted to Raw. So essentially breaking up the club. But the man, for everyone out there, the man that was the creator of this club at one point,
of said club,
is now on that show with the other two men that he created that club with.
Mr. Finn Balor.
So, a lot of people said when they drafted Finn Balor and then Anderson and Gallows were drafted, a lot of people were saying don't put Balor in together right away. Balor's got a lot of momentum and everything, but why wouldn't you?
Yep.
Because that's the key. That's the key three. That's the three that started it.
Yeah.
Nothing against AJ Styles, but that's the three that started it. So if you want, and Anderson and Gallows have really done nothing up to this point.
They haven't. I honestly believe that they have definitely been used improperly at this moment in time.
Yeah. It's like they brought him in and they kind of just, all right, we have him, but we don't know what to do with him. Well, now you know. Now you have something to do with them.
Yep.
And it's just a matter of putting everything together the right way.
Yeah.
Now, did you watch Raw?
I don't think I did. I think I was cooking.
Okay. Well, Cesaro ends up going to Raw in like round, like one of the last rounds to be televised.
Number 28 pick.
Yeah. They had a interview with him via Facebook Live or on WWE.com, and it came off very shootish. It was a lot of people took it as a shoot.
Yeah.
He said He said he would have thought he got drafted to SmackDown because SmackDown was going to be the wrestling show and focus on the superstars. But it's okay. He's on Raw. I'm gonna look at the positives, but the focus needs to be on the superstars and not how Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon can coexist.
I think Cesaro's about to do the big face turn. Or not face turn, but face pump up. Because he's already a face.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's about to go against the industry or the authority.
Yeah.
And definitely start to shine out. Because they know Cesaro is the guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I think this is Cesaro's time to actually shine as that big guy on the casino's gone.
Yes.
Dave's gone. You know, you got all the new guys on the big show on SmackDown. You got you got Seth Rollins. You got Charlotte.
Yep.
You got Finn Balor. You got Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar. You know, the New Day stays on Raw.
Yeah.
Zayn, Sasha Banks. Jericho stays as a vet to get everybody over.
Yep, absolutely.
Rusev, Kevin Owens, Enzo and Cass. You got all the new guys there now. Now you need that one guy that's already still established.
Yes.
To be that guy to say, all right, guys, follow my lead now. And I think it's time that Cesaro does that, and I think that's what they're doing.
Absolutely. Now, back to when I said they had picks of NXT. Now, Raw made the sensible pick in Finn Balor. Shortly after that, SmackDown taking American Alpha of Chad Gable and Jason Jordan.
That's an amazing pick.
There's your tag team to be the focus on SmackDown.
Yep.
If you want SmackDown to be the wrestling show about the in-ring product, there's your team right there.
Yep.
And they gave them solid. They did give them some solid group, because SmackDown also drafted the Dudleys. They drafted Golden Truth. They drafted the Shining Stars, and they drafted the Usos along with the Ascension and the Vaudevillains. So
the Shining Stars went to Raw.
Really?
Yep. Shining Stars went to Raw. The Vaudevillains went to SmackDown.
Oh, okay. The list that I'm reading, the guy had a misedit. He said post SmackDown on there, and they're actually the Raw picks. Okay, so excuse me. Truth, Dudleys, and Stars are on Raw.
Yes,
but you have the Usos, the Ascension, and the Vaudevillains on SmackDown, along with their American Alpha.
Yeah,
that's solid. To me, that's solid, because now you can kind of you could try to rebuild the Ascension as that monster heel tag team that they were in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, the damage that has been done to them can be repaired.
I doubt it.
You have the Vaudevillains. Vaudevillains will always be that cocky, smug heel team.
Yep.
And then you have the Usos as the face vets that have been around for a while, know how things are. Then they can kind of help American Alpha, get better.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing that I think with this draft and SmackDown being the wrestling show, I honestly believe this is going to be something that's great for SmackDown. I've always been a SmackDown fan. And this right here, this draft for SmackDown is going to be a huge thing. I mean, unfortunately, we still got to see John Cena. And nothing against John Cena. I just feel as though he's been forced down everybody's throats so much now that, dude, go take a vacation.
Yeah.
Some back stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's got enough to do outside the WWE. He doesn't need to be around anymore. Full time.
You don't need to be on the roster right now. Go take a year vacation. Go do some other stuff. Go do a couple of movies. You know what I'm saying? And then come back to get that pop that's like, oh my gosh, where the hell have you been, Cena? And then come back and do some things. I mean, and that's cool. But I think he's been forced down everybody's throat. And right now, AJ is the one that's facing him. And it's still the same old thing because it's the same old Cena.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, continuing on with the NXT, a lot of people were expecting to see Nakamura and Bayley and such. But Raw throwing a bit of a curveball and taking Nia Jax.
Well, the thing is, let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
I knew Nakamura wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He got there. For anybody who thought that he was going to get drafted, you're stupid. He just got there.
Yeah.
Finn Balor lost to Nakamura so that Finn can come up to NXT to end up, to the WWE.
Yeah.
To the end of Raw.
Yeah.
Nakamura is now going to be the shining light of NXT right now. Until it's his time.
Which, for Nakamura, it's gonna be one of the bigger shows,
right?
Because he's as talented as that man is in the ring. He feeds and eats the crowd up.
Yeah.
So
the thing that gets me though is Nakamura is so skinny and tall. Like I'm like, what is the appeal to Nakamura? You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a great entertainer.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to see what the appeal is to him.
The physical appeal. Yeah.
No physical appeal.
No, there's not.
Like there isn't. You know what I'm saying? He's skinny. He doesn't have real muscle mass. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got that ring presence and he's got that, I guess, that charisma.
Yeah.
He's like being charisma.
Yeah.
Man. His entrance is freaking phenomenal, so I guess that's what it is, because pro wrestling is basically charisma. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be the most jacked person, which we've seen several times.
Oh yeah,
you can be the most jacked.
But if you can't,
the crowd behind
you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
Well, the pick of Nia Jax caught me off guard a little bit, but then again, it didn't, because she's improved so much in NXT. Like, I think if you put her against the right person, she can be that monster, that big monster heel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
okay.
And you have Sasha Banks, you have Charlotte, you have Paige, you have all these smaller women that are on Raw that pale in comparison to Nia Jax.
Right.
So,
but Jax is going to take the place of what's her name? Oh my gosh,
Tamina?
Yeah. No. What's her name? Black girl. Just came back and left.
Naomi?
No. Big black girl. What's
Awesome Kong?
Awesome Kong, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I think she's gonna take.
Oh, she's gonna be what Awesome Kong should have been.
Exactly.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Exactly.
I can see that.
So,
well, a lot. Now on SmackDown ended up taking Eva Marie, Mojo Rawley, and Carmella. Mojo Rawley, I have no problem with. He can be serviceable. Carmella, I'm completely fine with. I'm surprised that she ended up on SmackDown and not Raw because of Enzo and Cass, and
right.
and the relationship they had in NXT. But it's now Eva Marie's time to sink or swim.
Right.
If she's not gonna get, she's now on a show So she's got to get herself in gear and do the right thing. Because otherwise, this might be her last chance.
Okay.
Because they put her with the Bellas. She's been training with Brian Kendrick, but a lot of people still say she's not gotten better.
Yeah. But you know what? I just, like, I'm looking over the information here, and like, Emma didn't get drafted. There's a lot of people that didn't get drafted.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that are technically free agents right now. There, one being Heath Slater. Heath Slater went on Twitter and he's like, "Well, let's see what I can do on my calendar." he was teasing about like going on the road to like ROH or Dragon Gate or Evolve or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think that I think what they did was they took all the key players and the players that they're good at something with.
Yeah.
And of course drafted them.
Oh, absolutely.
But of course Heath Slater isn't going anywhere.
No.
Heath Slater is the Santino Marella of this time right now, the comedy.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that can do something, can still wrestle a lot and make people laugh. And looking at Nakamura just, I'm looking at a picture of him. This dude is just oozing. Like, I'm staring at his damn picture because his charisma level is like 99.
Oh, yeah. Like, if Nakamura on a video game, his charisma would be 99. Like, just, he just oozes it.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
But looking over like the full rosters that were drafted, it's very solid on both sides.
Right.
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here on out, because I'm going to give SmackDown Live the benefit of the doubt because it was the draft.
Yeah.
But the SmackDown Live did beat the Raw in the ratings. The ratings came out. SmackDown Live had the higher numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, and that's most likely because of the draft.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens week by week, because now both your shows are live.
Both of them, yeah.
Both of them are live. USA is putting all their muscle behind you, giving you 2 live shows back to back on two primetime nights. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that WWE is just cornering the market right now because they are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's just that simple. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown, Wednesday Night NXT. They're cornering the market, you know, and that's the way to do it. So WWE is not going to be a household name. I mean, they already are a household name, but they're really a household name right now.
Yeah. Well, right now, WWE doesn't really have, as far as WWE, they don't have they have competition, but then they don't have competition. Because it was fun. It was funny, as you're watching SmackDown Live, not only does TNA run a commercial, but Lucha Underground runs a commercial. TNA running the commercial, announcing the new time, going Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Oh, see, exactly, because they can't compete with WWE.
And Lucha Underground, running their commercial, which, for all intents and purposes, Lucha Underground ended last night. They finished. They did there was their season 2 finale. Ultima Lucha Dos.
Okay.
Which I did watch. I did watch because we postponed recording for a day, so I was like, you know what? I'll watch Lucha Underground. Like, I watch it. I haven't watched it like every week. I watch it like here and there.
Yeah.
And just the overall production from Lucha Underground, it's amazing because they don't try to bill it as a wrestling show, even though it is. They try to make it like a movie.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, from the booking standpoint, I think that's where, granted, WWE takes a lot of flack because at times their creative booking seems boring and repetitive. But Lucha Underground had 5 matches last night, and the first 4 ended in shenanigans.
Did you say shenanigans?
Yes, I said shenanigans.
Next person that says shenanigans, I'm pistol whipping.
Why?
If you don't know what movie that's from, dude, I gotta punch you in the face.
I do know what movie, I just can't think of it right now.
Because you don't know. I'm punching you in the face, Pat G.
And this is why I'm glad I'm not sitting next to you for a change.
Today you're not.
Yes.
It's from Super Troopers, Pat G. You need to watch it.
That's right. Okay. Like I said, I couldn't think of it.
Have you seen Super Troopers before?
I have seen Super Troopers before.
You need to watch it again, damn it, because that's one of the best lines. Next person that says shenanigans, I'm pistol whipping. Hey, Farva, what's that restaurant like to go to with all the peanuts on the floor? Oh, you mean shenanigans? Oh.
But yeah, like watching it because they let off with a very good match. It was for the Trios Championship, and the champions were, everybody would know, were Johnny Mundo, who was once John Morrison, PJ Black, who Justin Gabriel, and Jack Evans. And just...
was on Raw? Oh, no, this was on, I'm sorry.
This was Lucha Underground. So, Lucha Underground has former WWE talent. But it's like... And WWE doing the draft, and as we said, we're reaching out to former talent. And there were talks about WWE looking at talent in Lucha Underground and looking at talent at here and there and everything. It's just looking at what I'm saying, what Johnny Mundo and PJ Black have done since they left. I'm surprised those are two of the names that didn't come up in WWE trying to bring back. Because I guess they're in talks to bring back Jinder Mahal.
Which they got his brother right now.
Yeah.
His brother's in the Cruiserweight Classic. No, his brother lost, didn't he?
I think his brother may have lost. I'm not sure.
I think his brother lost the first round. I think so. I know I watched it.
Yeah. I think his brother did lose the first round. But also, speaking of the WWE Draft, not only did the rosters get flipped, but the commentating got flipped around.
Ooh.
Raw will now be announced by Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves.
Corey Graves, I think that's going to be an awesome.
That's going to be an awesome 3-man booth right there.
Yeah.
SmackDown is going to be Mario Ranallo, JBL, and David Otunga.
Otunga, back in the scene.
Yep. And then I believe the superstar and the other shows got flipped around too. Tom Phillips is going to do play-by-play for both of them, but one's going to be Corey Graves, the other one's going to be Otunga. So, Jerry Lawler officially off commentating. No,
I think it's time for Lawler to go.
I think he's going to get moved to something else backstage, most likely.
I mean, he's not going to be a TV presence anymore.
No.
And I think that his commentary has gotten old.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't sound funny anymore.
Like I liked it when they first moved him to SmackDown and he was allowed to be that heel commentator again.
Yeah.
Because you hadn't heard heel Lawler in like so long, so it was kind of a fresher breath air for him. But after a while, it just got old.
Yeah,
like nothing. Lawler can still bring something to your company. He can't bring it on your TV product.
Of course. I mean, and they know that. They know that. They're switching out the old faces with the new faces.
Yeah.
They know that. So that's something where, they're doing it now.
Absolutely. So, but it's going to be interesting from here on out. As interesting as that may be, it's even more interesting as it is break time. It's time to pay the bills. JC, tell them what it is about the Gear Network.
Hey everyone, John Cimino here for the Gear Radio Network, and you have asked and asked repeatedly, what is up with the app? We know you have one, and you never push it, you never do anything with it. Well, guess what? We got a better one, and it is free, it is absolutely available for you, and there's so much more you can do with it. Visit GearNetwork.com and click Get the App. It's up on the top banner, or if you're feeling really brave, head to gearnetwork.mobapp.at on your mobile phone and your mobile phone's browser, and you can take Gear Network with you wherever you go. Listen to every show on the Gear Network right from the app. You can view all of our social networks in real time. You can read Gear Network and BLTDsports.com blogs in real time, and you can also shop Amazon and help us out and help you out. It is free. Did I mention that? Again, gearnetwork.com or gearnetwork.mobapp.at. Download it right now. Hey, Don, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America? That one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that...
And a little what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger. Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
Riverworks Wrestling fans, this is the Silver Fox, voice fox of Riverworks Wrestling, Joey the Bruiser Tenebruso. Again, reminding everyone the big event will be held Saturday, July 23rd at Buffalo Riverworks. It will be the Wrestling Legends of the Odd, a tribute to Ilio DiPaolo 20th anniversary. On that night, you're going to see all the wrestling stars for Riverworks Wrestling to be there, including Big Time Bill Collier, The Franchise Shane Douglas, All Ego Ethan Page, Blackjack Phoenix, the Aponte Twins, and of course Team Canada along with Tim Horner Jr. and many more stars. This is the event that you'll also see many of the former WCW superstars there, including former Kingpin Eric Bischoff, the Nasty Boys, Jimmy Mouth of the South Heart, and Leaping Lanny Poffo, who will be presented with a very special award honoring the late and great Randy, the Macho Man Savage, as he will be the first member inducted into the Ilio DiPaolo Legends of the Odd Hall of Fame. Again, the event goes down Saturday, July 23rd at Buffalo Riverworks. And preceding that date, on July 22nd, we also invite you to Coca-Cola Field for a special Friday night bash, as the Wrestling Legends will be there as well. So it's going to be a whole weekend of the wrestling legends in Buffalo, New York. All proceeds will benefit Children's Hospital and the Ilio DePaulo Scholarship Fund. Tickets are only $40 for VIP reception, $25 and $20 respectively, and you can get those available at BuffaloRiverworks.com beginning June the 15th. Again, we want you all there. It was a big night 20 years ago. It's going to be a big night again. Wrestling Legends of the Odd 20th anniversary at Buffalo Riverworks on July 23rd. Don't you dare!
This is Pat G. Before we get back to the TTRP, the Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast, we'd like to say the TTRP is sponsored by the Gear Network stores through Amazon. If you visit gearnetwork.com/Amazon and click on any of the banners, it will take you right to your Amazon account. And you can do all your Amazon shopping right there. You shop as you normally would. The only difference is since you went through our link at Gear Network, Amazon kicks back the network and us a small percentage to help with production costs to keep us on at no extra cost to you. We bring you great shows like Better Live Than Dead, Misguided Musings, JC Money's Talking Wrestling, Get Ready America, and much more here on the Gear Network. So do it. Hit up Amazon, gearnetwork.com/Amazon, and start shopping today.
So let's talk with the last couple of minutes we got left, because actually I got some previous. It's some engagements I have to encounter.
Oh.
Let's take a couple of minutes and let's talk. Wait, Dixie Carter has an action figure? Really?
Yes, Dixie Carter has an action figure. Why, I don't know.
See, this is why. See, I would love to work for TNA.
Yeah.
I still want to work for TNA. But stupid things like that make me want to be like, ugh.
Well, it's Dixie Carter. Of course she's got to have an interview or an action figure.
No, you don't need an action figure. No. But
No?
anyway, so let's talk IWF. Let's talk local wrestling.
Yes.
So, with IWF coming up, it's a huge show.
Yep, Summer Bash.
Summer Bash, huge stacked card.
Oh.
Sean Carr is putting up his title against one of two men.
Oh, absolutely.
Bobby Ocean or Mark House.
Yep.
These two men are going to face off against each other, and the winner that same night will face Sean Carr, a fresh Sean Carr.
Yes.
You're already going into it with a disadvantage.
Yeah.
But my thing is this: I've seen Bobby Ocean wrestle. That man is amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
I've wrestled Mark House several times, a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
He's an amazing talent as well. With Sean Carr is one of my great friends. I consider him a great friend. These three men, whoever is the opponent for Sean Carr, I'm putting it out there, you don't want to miss the match.
No, not at all.
If it's Bobby Ocean, it's going to be hard-hitting, fast-paced, and just amazing.
Well, it's going to be because I will say this, Sean Carr and Bobby Ocean have crossed paths before, and I had a front row seat for it.
Wow.
Yeah, they crossed paths a few months ago, and it was one of the last times I was in said company, but I had a front row seat because I was officiating that match, and that was hard. It was a hard hitting match, back and forth.
Was this the face company?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the last time I was there.
Okay.
Or one of the last times.
Yeah. Okay.
But now, an interesting thing is what does Sean Carr do on the off chance that there's a double pin, and he has to face both men?
Well, I mean,
not saying that's going to happen, but stranger things have happened in wrestling.
That's true. That's true. Stranger things have happened in wrestling. If by chance there is a triple threat option, then I think I'm going to have to be there for that match. I mean, there's no words for it. You don't want to miss it. It's like a solar eclipse.
Oh,
you want to see it.
Absolutely.
You have some time. You want to see it.
Absolutely.
You know, but speaking of that, we got an interview for you guys. Like I said, you know, we always have interviews. We always get that cutting edge stuff. And this interview is with the son of a pro wrestler.
Yes.
Son of a vet in the Western New York area.
Yep.
It is Mr. Jordan Falco.
Yes.
You know, and he's a good kid. You know, young in the business. He's still coming up. He's still got some bumps and bruises to go through.
Young in the business and young in life.
Yeah, you know, and we definitely talk about that as well in the interview.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? But definitely check out the interview. Let us know what you think, and we'll come back to you soon.
Yep.
Becky, play the interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all shapes and sizes, you know the intro. Mr. Gabriel Soul in your eardrums. That's an eargasm you feel. With the one and only Pat G. The G stands for gangster. Pat G, tell him what it is.
Well, it's a unique situation because usually we don't, if we do interviews, we record them on the road.
Right.
But this time we're in the studio.
Right.
Coming live from Skype with the Cali Kidd himself, Jordan Falco.
What's going on, guys?
Falco, what's good, sir?
Not a thing. Just hanging out, getting ready for this upcoming IWF show, and just having a good time with the family.
So wait, let's talk about the family first. No, because
All right.
Because I know that you had some issues with your dad. You're not with your dad, are you, right now?
I am not. He is actually, doing his own thing, getting ready for IWF, and I'm doing my thing, but definitely coming together for IWF.
Okay. I was just checking, because I remember last time you and your dad had some issues, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, yeah. Different story.
A whole different story on that. But yeah, let's talk about the IWF show coming up. Now, you have a tag team partner, the beautiful, just newlywed Bia. I think so.
Absolutely.
Now you and her don't have a thing going on, do you?
Absolutely not. Her and Rob are a great couple. I wish them very well in their marriage. Definitely, it's all business.
Okay.
So there's absolutely nothing going on.
Okay, I was just checking because, that's like that Macho Man Hulk Hogan type of thing,
Oh, I know. I can't have that issue, man.
So you and the beautiful Bia are a tag team, and you guys are going up against Dirty Rex Atkins, a new invented Rex Atkins. He's dirty now. And his tag team partner,
Patsy Blue.
is Patsy Blue.
Yeah, that is actually beautiful Bia's sister.
Wow.
Yeah, actually last show we did a mixed tag team match, beautiful Bia and I versus Rex and Patsy. Got a little out of hand the show prior to that. Rex and Patsy, used their odds one against me. But then I decided, bring family involved in all this, and let's get Bia out here. So got Bia to tag up with me, and this upcoming show is actually beautiful Bia versus Patsy Blue, one-on-one, sister versus sister, just announced today.
Wow, see, that's amazing. Now, when is this IWF show?
It is this Friday, 7 p.m. at the Rockport House Lodge.
Wow. Now, IWF usually runs on Fridays, right?
Yep. We've only had one Saturday show, but the rest of the dates that we do have actually through 2017 are all Fridays.
Oh, wow. See, and that's kind of like cornering the market because some people run on Fridays, but everybody mostly runs on Saturdays. So with IWF business running on Friday at 7 o'clock, that's a time people can get out of work, get home, get changed, get the kids situated, come see people get kicked in the face, and then enjoy a wrestling show.
Absolutely.
Now, so let's talk about you and your dad.
Yep.
Just a little bit. So now, is your dad on the active roster at IWF?
He is. This upcoming show, he's actually wrestling Big Cat Lemmer in a street fight.
Wow. Now, at IWF, are you and your dad on good terms?
We are on good terms. We, come together. We haven't done anything, against each other or gotten into each other's business. I have wrestled Big Cat Lemmer in the IWF Heavyweight Title Tournament, but it was nothing to do with the fact of his and my dad. All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, gotta love technical difficulties, right?
I know, right? that just makes Pat G's job a lot harder.
Yeah, it's all good.
So we were talking about you were telling us about your dad, and you were saying that you just got done facing Big Cat Lemmer in the heavyweight title contention.
Yep. It was a couple shows back before, Rex Atkins and I got into things. But, my dad and I actually just decided to go in as individuals with each other. And Dad figured it's just the best bet for our careers.
Okay. So,
Yep.
So tell me, with this fight coming up, with Beautiful Bia and Patsy Blue, of course, I know you're going to be in Beautiful Bia's corner.
Absolutely.
I know damn sure Rex is going to be in Patsy Blue's corner. Now,
unfortunately,
but I mean, my thing is, are you guys going to have extra security out there? Because I already know 100% there's no chance in hell you two aren't going to touch. You two aren't going to get your hands on each other.
Well, I mean, IWF is very well staffed with their security. But, I mean, I'm not going to get involved as long as Rex doesn't get involved. It is Patsy's time to shine, and she's Patsy Blue. So definitely going to be in the corner, but I don't want to, fight Rex if I don't have to, but I'm always ready to fight.
Well, listen, I've faced Rex in the ring before several times, and knowing Rex's attitude and knowing Rex's ring presence and his ability, I already know he's going to want to pick a fight with you. So I'm letting you know from a veteran standpoint, you need to be prepared.
Absolutely. I mean, our we do not, have a scheduled match against each other, but doesn't mean I don't need to have an unscheduled fight with them still.
Yeah, that's true. So now let's just change gears a little bit. So how long have you been wrestling for?
I made my in-ring debut January of 2013, but due to New York State Commission, I didn't start wrestling full-time until about September, August area of 2014. But yeah, so around 3 years I've been in-ring, but officially full-time about almost 2 years now.
So you technically are seriously a young buck.
I am as green as the grass, man.
Like, I mean, in like wrestling years and in youth, real life youth. Wow.
Yeah. I'm a very young guy.
Well, that's always a good thing. That means you got more. You got more body to beat up now. Instead of these old guys.
That's a good thing.
Well, you got more years than I do. So who are you trained by?
In ring, I am trained by Hellcat. Wrestles up at his school for KDW. Obviously started with them as well. But psychology and the actual other aspects of wrestling, I have to give that obviously my dad and Brody Lee, also partner.
Okay. So wow. with that being said, with having a dad as a pro wrestler, did you always want to be into pro wrestling when you were younger? When you actually saw him starting to be a wrestler?
Absolutely. I mean, seeing my dad do stuff that my favorite wrestlers on TV were doing definitely made me get really intrigued into wrestling when I was older. And I mean, he was definitely the dad that said, "No, I don't want. You're not wrestling. You're not wrestling." But yeah, it was always my dream to become a wrestler.
See, it's always typically the opposite. Whenever the dad says, "No, don't be a wrestler," the kids be wrestlers. Like with my kids, I tell my kids, "Please be a wrestler. Please be a wrestler. I want to train you." And then my kids are like, "Nope, I don't want to wrestle." Like, "Nope, Dad, I don't want to do it." So, yeah, I don't know.
Reverse psychology.
I guess I got to start telling them no then.
Yep, and then they'll become superstars.
Exactly. So with that being said, right now, this time right here is your time. You know, this is your time to shine. You know, put out your Facebook, your Instagram, your phone number if you want people call you. You know, get some girls. Oh, I'm sorry, you with your family. Never mind. You know, I mean, this is your time to shine. Go for it.
Absolutely. Facebook is Jordan Falco Wrestling. Facebook.com/Jordan Falco Wrestling. Instagram is Jordan Falco Official. Twitter is @IamThatPerfect. And
email?
That's the social media I have. Email is JordanFalcoWrestling@gmail.com.
Okay. So promoters, you wanna get a fresh young talent who's trained by what Hellcat is 14 years in the business?
Yeah, 14. 15.
Yeah, 14 years in the yeah, and trained the right way, properly, you know what I'm saying? So he's training
Not
all
to
his
mention
students.
learning the psychology aspect from his dad and Brody Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper.
Yeah.
Right there, that's some pedigree.
Yeah, so definitely promoters, get out there, get at Jordan Falco, you know what I'm saying, the young talent in the business. Well, Falco, thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. We will see you at IWF. Hopefully, you know, if you do get your hands on Rex, definitely, you know, put your fist through his face for me.
Or a super kick through the face. That's always a good option as well.
That's even a better option.
Yeah,
All right, man. Take it easy. Thank you for joining us on the show. We appreciate it.
absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
All right, man.
All right, that's the interview, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. That was a great interview. Jordan Falco, thank you for joining us on the show. We truly appreciate it. You know, anybody that always comes on the Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast, we truly enjoy. You know, Pat G never really says anything. This time he said a little bit, but, you know, it's Pat G, guys. We already know how that is. Right, Pat G?
Listen, I let you do the interviews. I make sure they sound good, okay? This is how this works.
That's true. We do got a partnership with that. But on that end, we are all set. Thank you for joining us for Turnbuckle Talk Radio Podcast number 9. We are still rolling and trucking and driving through. We will be at a venue near you. And you know what it is, Pat G? End it off?
Yep.
That's it? Just yup?
Oh, I thought you were going to do your Cyclone.
I am, but that's all you got to say, just yup?
No, but check out IWF tomorrow night, Friday, July 22nd, at the Brockport Elks Lodge, 4400 Suite Sweden Walker Road, Brockport, New York. Doors open at 6:30. Showtime is at 7. Tune in to Talking Wrestling with JC Money to hear some big announcements for this show from Eric Anamana and Mark House, along with JC. Always tune in to Gear Network every week as myself and Gabriel Soul will be here on the airwaves.
And if you missed that, we got one word for you. You know what it is. Cyclone!
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.
Ooh, yeah, it's the Macho Man here. Yeah, talking to you, yeah, from, beyond the realm of spectrum. Yeah, all the other greats are, Dusty Rhodes is over there, Roddy Piper right over there. I got Balls and Axel right over there, and we're around the radio. Radio in our faraway land, so we can listen to you, talking wrestling on Gear Network. We want to hear JC talk about wrestling. We want to hear who he's interviewing, some of these young up-and-comers. I want to hear what they're about, and I want to hear them talk about how much of an inspiration the Macho Man really was for them. Dig it. I dig it. Wow, freak out. I'm doing a commercial. Right here, Gear Network, talking wrestling. Listen in, as that Perez guy would say. Dig it.
The Talking Wrestling Podcast, every 2 weeks through SummerSlam, here on the Gear Radio Network.